Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about the Netflix documentary called Love on the Spectrum. I was only made aware of this earlier today after I was watching two fellow autistic creators who actually uploaded on this topic. So I went away and watched the Love on the Spectrum program on Netflix. I watched all 4 episodes of the first season, as it's only got season 1 uploaded right now onto Netflix. So as an autistic woman, I felt it was important to cover this and give my own perspective, as well as give some red flags and advice that I feel the company could benefit from. So let's get into it. The first red flag I saw as an autistic woman is that the producers and crew were using identity first language and not person first language. Another thing that I worry about is, have the producers and film crew had prior training or prior work with autistic people before this documentary? But one positive thing I must say out of this programme that I liked is that they were truly trying to include autistic people within the dating world and to show that we are capable of dating and having relationships. But at the same time, I feel that the problems with putting autistic people on this documentary is that you're potentially opening up to be made fun of. I like that the relationship expert Jodie and the parents of the autistic people are saying that people with autism who lack empathy myth is complete rubbish. We actually feel empathy more deeply and just simply cannot express it in the way or the correct format. I really like that Chloe and her partner, who have been dating for 4 years, for their anniversary they went out into a classic car. I like the fact that she said dating someone with a disability makes it better for her, but the sad thing is she also said that she had to act fake most of the time because society didn't accept her or understand her for her needs or for being on the spectrum. To me, that is societal judgment. It's a fact that you should be accepted regardless of your disability, regardless of your label. And that really saddens me that we're still in a state that society just doesn't accept us or won't understand our needs or how to help us on the spectrum. So one thing that I also noticed in this program is that they seem to focus on the struggles of the autistic person rather than the good things an autistic can offer and have in terms of a relationship or friendship. To me, again, this shows a total lack of research on behalf of the production crew and the TV company working with the autistic person. This is why I think we still have such a long way to go about autism understanding. I feel that taking part in this program for autistic people is not really that great of an idea, but I did like part of the relationships that they showed with a couple who were in love or are in love for 4 years, and he took his partner out in a classic car as part of their anniversary. Was a nice touch. But one thing I didn't like as well was the direct open-ended questions that they were asking them, which was about what is a perfect relationship? What type of question, and why would you ask that to someone who's on the autistic spectrum? Asking us open-ended questions is going to end you up in a disaster because we can't answer them. You're not giving us a structure. You're not giving us a yes or no answer. You're giving us something that's going to make us panic, make us anxious, make us stressed out, make us into meltdown. You don't ask open-ended questions such as, what is the perfect relationship? To be honest with you, I can't even answer that question. Like, the only thing I would say is the fact that we're able to talk to the correct person we want to have in our lives, and that we all have our own personal goals of what we want in a relationship. So to me, it'd be someone who listens to me, respects me, has autism probably, is passionate about politics, mental health, disability issues in general, enjoys going to watch films, enjoys listening to a bit of pop music, a bit of Christian music, that kind of stuff. But again, I don't think the TV company or the TV crew had training with people on the spectrum before this, because the way that they were talking about us was that we were a nightmare, a burden, a tragedy, an issue. And I just really didn't like that. I thought it was just very, very ableist and very, very, like, standoffish. Like, sorry, my glasses are falling off my face yet again. So another red flag that I noticed is that they put 2 autistic people into a brightly lit, overstimulating restaurant environment. No, 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 never, ever, 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 ever do that. Because you're going to overstimulate them, you're going to make them anxious, as it happened on the episode where you actually saw the girl leave because she was getting overstimulated and anxious, being in a bright lit environment, and it made her unable to communicate. This to me shows again they didn't have training or knowledge of sensory triggers, environmental triggers, the environment itself, and you could hear the food being cooked, people talking, people walking in the restaurant. You could hear the outside, like traffic. It was a nightmare. That would have triggered me to an oversensory hell. So that's another thing that I just think that they didn't really think this through enough before they start filming it. Another thing that annoys me is that the parents always say, oh, we've done a lot for our children. Without us, they wouldn't have been so successful. Without us, they wouldn't have been able to go out and be independent. Yes, I can understand where they're coming from. I can understand where they feel that they've done so much for their child or young adult or older adult in terms of communication. I get that, I accept that, but at the same time, we are people on the spectrum, we are people who have our own minds, have our own dreams, ambitions, we want to achieve for ourselves, and we do a lot to achieve for ourselves every day. We advocate for ourselves. We're the ones who live with autism. We're the ones that have to constantly battle our own rights, day in, day out, all the time. And I know parents are well-meaning when it comes to this kind of stuff, but please stop saying you've done everything for us, because you haven't. Yes, you've done some things to help us be successful, but we've had to do a lot of our own backs. We're the ones who've had to communicate, go out of our comfort zone. We're the ones who've had to literally try and make friends in a society that doesn't work for us, that doesn't want us, that doesn't fit for us, because they see us as a burden, they see us as an issue, they see us as a problem, they see us as people who aren't wanted in this society. And that's a shame, because it's fear. It's something that society makes happen. It's something that is a load of rubbish and shouldn't be done, but still in this society we're very ableist towards autistic people, and that really winds me up, because I'm autistic myself. Let me be who I am. Let me communicate. Let me make my own decisions. Let me decide if I want to date, or let me decide if I want to be with someone. If I want to be with someone, I will do it myself. I don't need people telling me, you must go and do this, you must settle down, or you must go and look at the world in a different way, you must find someone. No. This is very, very ableist. This is the thing I didn't like about Love on the Spectrum, because I found it very ableist. I found it very lacking autism training, autism awareness, and the fact that also the lady Jodie and some of the parents were saying that how autism causes marriage breakdowns. I'm sorry, that is the most biggest load of crap I've ever heard. My parents just were divorced separated way before my autism. It doesn't mean that every single couple are going to get divorced or choose to end their marriage because they have an autistic child. That is just implied how ableist society actually is. Not every marriage will fail because you have an autistic loved one. Please stop saying that. Please stop telling people that we are so tragic, we're a burden, we're going to end your marriage. It's so tragic that the person has autism. No, it's not tragic. It's a different way of seeing the world, and the sooner you get used to that, and the sooner you accept our autism and understand us and help us to communicate, the better. Because again, it's fear. It's society's fear. It's people who don't understand what autism is that tell you these things. Understand us, listen to us, support us. We want to be just like you. We want to be able to communicate. We want our voices heard. We're not a tragedy. We're not a burden. And the fact that, people, also the parents have said that we all are fixated on topics. We don't like to change, which is true in a way, but we're not all fixated. We're not all obsessed. We're not all people who, are going to be fixated on one turn subject. I have a lot of different subjects that I could talk about. I could talk about politics, mental health, disability, Vampire Diaries, the originals, the Bill. I go from extreme to extreme to extreme on different topics that I'm passionate about. Don't make us all out to sound that we're absolutely obsessive or anything. We're not. And this program it's so ableist, and it doesn't show autism in the correct way. Yes, it's good that they show relationships and communication. They show how people communicate, but stop making us your inspiration porn. We're not an inspiration porn. We are people. We are humans. We deserve to have our rights upheld. Please respect us for being authentically autistic. I hope the company makes changes for the next time I do a documentary like this. I just didn't like it. I won't be watching any more of it. I just personally don't agree with it. I think it's done in poor taste. So let me know what you think down in the comments down below. And I will see you next time for the next video. Bye guys!